So this property right here in Pryor, Oklahoma came available through SEO. So we do a lot of Google ads in the Tulsa market. My partner, Mark Gabriel, and I do 7 figures a year in that market. And this rural lead came up and we went on the appointment and we ended up closing it and signing the contract there in person with the seller. And you can see this house is pretty rough here. I mean, it's in really poor condition. It is a cash only transaction. So the only buyer for this property is an investor. And so we secured this deal for $32,500. That's the purchase price, $32,500. And we immediately began our dispo process. Now, if you know my dispo process, it is the best dispo process in the entire industry. I did an entire series with Mark on how we do dispo. It's a 5-day process. On the 4th day, we do an open house. On the 5th day, we take our buyer, we make everybody bid. And it's just really next level, top of the line way to do dispo. If you want to watch that series and get my entire process on how we do dispo, I'll give it to you for free. I'll put those links in the description below. But with every deal we do, we always first look for a buyer that we can do an assignment. And so that's what we did with this deal. But like I said, it's rural and we just got no interest. And like I said, we do a very thorough dispo process. So my team's working, around the clock to find a buyer for this property. And we just could not generate enough interest. Now, tell me if you can relate to that. I mean, I hear that same story again and again from people that try to wholesale rural. You can buy a great deal, but then how do you find a buyer for it? So after going through and exhausting our dispo process, we had no buyer. What do most people do? Well, they would go back and terminate the contract, maybe try to renegotiate it lower. What we did is we said, you know what? I think there's a deal here. I think we can actually move this. We just need to get more exposure. We need to get this thing back on the MLS. Now, some people will try to attempt to do a novation. Nothing wrong with that. I just found that it's way easier and cleaner if you can just buy the thing, take title, take ownership, and then turn around and resell it. That's what we call the takedown. So that's what we did. We ended up funding and purchasing this property for $32,500. And if you look here, this is our closing statement. We actually used one of our lenders that does 100% lending. Now they charge 12% and I think a point to put the deal together, but they give me 100% of the financing. Now we've got several different lenders we use. Some of them are easier. Some of them are a little bit more brain damage. And we also have some private money that we use. Look, if you're in this business and you're not raising capital, then you're really limited on all the things you can do. So we make capital a very, very big part of our business, meaning we have access to lots of different capital, several hard money lenders, private money lenders. We have some lines of credit. We have some personal capital that we brought into the business. So we have access to a lot of different capital for deals just like this. So we purchased this property for $32,500. Our closing fees on this thing were $28.75, and there was a lender fee. This is their processing fee for $500. Okay, so we purchased the property, and this was on 4/20, so April 20th of this year, 2026. And then we immediately put it back up for sale on the open market. Now, in this case, we did nothing. We didn't do a trash out. We didn't do a cleaning. We didn't fix anything. We did nothing. Sometimes on our higher priced homes, we'll go in there and we'll clean it up. We'll spend a little money, maybe do a little punch list, not rehab, but just enough things. But since this was a cash only transaction, we didn't feel like we needed to spend any money on it. We were just looking for a local active buyer that isn't on the websites. They don't have a history. They're not on the Facebook groups. They're not doing any of those things. They're just kind of a hidden under a rock type of buyer. Every market has them, especially rural.
Still paying for property data? PropWire gives you unlimited property data, comps, and more for free. Download the PropWire app on the App Store or Google Play Store today.
So we listed this property for $59,000 and got some interest. And within about a week, we went back and forth and settled on a cash offer for $51,000. So we were pending in about a week. And then we closed, 3 weeks after that. We were in the deal for a total of 31 days. So we accepted that offer for $51,000. We paid commissions of $3,300. We paid some more closing fees. And when you look at the total breakdown on the net, between the resale and the purchase, I like to look at the percentages. We bought it at 64% of the resale. So I base everything off of the resale. So we sold it for $51,000. We ended up acquiring the deal at 64% of that resale. Our closing fees, our commissions, and our financing in this example came to 13%. So about 13% of our sale price went to cost. Now, our cost on the financing was super cheap because we turned the deal so fast, no prepayment penalties, and we paid like one interest payment is all. So it worked out really well that way. And then our net profit of $11,798 was 23% of the resale was our profit. And this was the breakdown on this case. Now, typically we like to buy at between 70 and 80% on the purchase. We try to keep our costs at about 10, and then we try to keep our profit anywhere from 10 to 20 is typically how we look at takedowns. But because this was a lower priced home, you need to adjust all those numbers. So these numbers are off a little bit from a typical deal, which is why we bought it for a little bit lower. We bought it at 64%. Our closing commissions and financing ended up being a little bit higher at 13, but our profit was 23 instead of that 10 to 20 range. Okay. So I did another takedown deal that it broke down where we made $42,000. And if you watch that one like hit the numbers perfectly. We ended up buying it at 80%. Our costs were about 10%. Our profit was about 10%. But if you guys are going to do the takedown like this, think about these numbers that I'm showing you right here. You want to be probably more like around 60, 65% on your purchase to give you room there for closing commissions, financing, and then still make a decent profit where you want to make something on the deal. We look at this deal right here as, for most people, would be a lost opportunity. I can't tell you how many deals like this wholesalers go under contract for 32.5. They think they've got a great deal. They're showing comps for 50 like we did, and they just cannot find a buyer. It's too rural, too much work. The few buyers that are available aren't interested for whatever reason. Maybe it's a timing thing, but you just really struggle. What do? That's where the takedown can really come in powerful. In fact, I think this is going to become more and more of, at least for me and my businesses, this is going to be our go-to model, especially as we secure better and better financing. The better the capital you've got, the easier it is to do deals like this. Now, would I like to make more? Yeah, our gross spread was, 18,500. Our net was 12. So, we had to factor in there $6,700 or whatever in those fees. So, you do need to be able to factor that number in there. Those costs are part of the deal. So now, aside from being able to still make money on a rural deal, like this example here, the other benefit is the takedown bypasses all the wholesale regulation because you're the end buyer. So if you look at most wholesale regulation, in fact, Oklahoma has some pretty strict regulation that we have to follow when we wholesale. But when we do the takedown, none of it applies. I don't have to disclose. I don't have to have the separate paperwork. I don't have to double close. I don't have to do any of that stuff because we're the end buyer. And when you're the end buyer, none of that stuff matters. You're not using your equitable interest. So places like Pennsylvania or South Carolina or any of these other markets that are requiring licensing or all this disclosure, the takedown gets to skip all of that. So that's another reason why we really, really like the takedown. It's just easier, faster, cleaner. And you can make money on rural deals like this one where you wouldn't be able to do the deal otherwise. So there's a lot of benefit to doing the takedown. And in most cases, even if we could do the assignment, we end up making a whole lot more. Okay. So I want you to be thinking about this method of wholesaling really, because we're not rehabbing. So it still falls into me that category of wholesaling.
Find deals faster with PropWire. Search properties, skip trace owners, and get lead alerts. Download the PropWire app on the App Store or Google Play Store for free.
But I want you to be thinking about this because this is going to become more and more the go-to. If you're not doing takedown deals, I think your wholesale business is going to struggle. And I'm seeing that more and more. I'm seeing a lot of wholesale businesses right now struggle because the assignment it's only one way to do the business. And it's limiting a lot of people's ability to do more deals. If you guys want to learn more about how to do that takedown method, I've got an entire training I'll give you for free. It's got a bunch of resources. I call it a kit. To download that for free, just go to freetakedownkit.com. And what I'd like you to do now is watch another video where we did another takedown deal that I talked about earlier. And this deal, there was no possible opportunity there because it was retail ready. The seller was going to jail, so he needed a quick sale. So we were able to buy that property at what would not be a deal to wholesale to anybody because there was no room on it for somebody to come in and add value. And we ended up just turning around, reselling that one. We were in the deal for a total of 41 days. And I think we made $40,000 or $45,000 on that deal doing the takedown on a deal where there was just no other way to make money with it. So this is, like I said, a powerful technique. I want you to watch that video now so you can get another view, another training on how the takedown works. And I'll see you on the next video.